Saginaw during the Mow the Difference promotion for Gravely mowers. Good time to stop in, save yourself some money on a Gravely, and test drive one while you're here. And we are chatting with Ernie Krieger from Ernie Krieger Appliance Service on Bay Road in Saginaw. If you have any questions about major appliances, give us a call, 989-752-6111. And we have Gordy, I believe, still waiting for us in Bay City. Gordy, are you still there? Good morning.
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Hi there.
Gentlemen.
What can we do for you?
I have been a top load washer my entire life and considering getting a front load because they use so much less water versatile with bigger items. As you repair things, are there brands that you see as being more reliable in that line of front load washers?
You know, in the past, there was a couple that stood out, but as time has gone on, and these manufacturers have all figured out where the deficiencies were, they're getting a lot closer. You know, you have the Whirlpool brands. And Whirlpool, basically is Amana, Maytag, Roper, KitchenAid. Those are all Whirlpool products. And so I would say I probably would be looking at something in the Whirlpool line. Another one that has really come up and has done a much better job as far as dependability would be something in the Frigidaire Electrolux line. Their front load washers have been impressive. So those, if you go shopping, those would be the two brands that I would say stand above.
All right, Whirlpool products, and then what were the other two?
Electrolux Frigidaire.
Okay, all right. That was everything I needed right there. I just
awesome, and
they use so much less water.
Yeah, the only thing I would tell you with the front load, I would always tell you to use the extra rinse cycle, the option. One of the problems that we have with front load washers is they don't always get the soap rinsed out like they should. So if you're the kind of guy that uses a towel more than 1 or 2 days, and all of a sudden the towel starts having kind of a funky odor to it, that odor is the detergents that weren't rinsed out of that towel when it went through its wash cycle. So if you use that extra rinse, that really will make your washability a whole lot better. And then I would also tell you to make sure you leave the door open when you're not using it so you don't pick up an odor.
Yeah.
My daughter said leave it open.
Yeah. I got to tell you a story about that because we had a front loader for a long time.
Oh, a gift.
Whoa. Thank you. I don't know what it is, but it's a gift. I'll open it in a minute. The story goes we had a front load. My wife, as Ernie can tell you,
she did not like it.
She didn't like it at all. We ended up getting a top load.
Yep. With an agitator.
And we still have it. With an agitator.
Yes.
And it's still what I use.
Good.
And, she just never was happy with it. Well, that's what she did. And she went to the front loader and said, And
I loved my top load Maytag, and didn't think I would ever want to get a front load. And I have a front load washer now 15 plus years and very, very happy with it. But, you got to make sure you do certain things as, leaving the door open. And I would also tell you that maybe every 2 months there's a product out there called a Fresh. It's a tablet. The new front load washers all come with a tub clean cycle with it. And I would tell you people, run that thing through a tub clean because there's a lot of crud that builds up on that outer tub that you don't see. And even in a top load washer, the amount of crud that you get that builds up is where you're getting your odors from. So cleaning those machines every couple months is an important thing to make sure that stuff stays fresh.
Thank you for your advice, gentlemen. Have a nice
All right, buddy.
weekend.
Appreciate the call.
Thanks, Gordy.
Bye-bye.
989-752-6111. Question for you.
Yes.
We're all using dryer sheets today. I mean, they're everywhere. I know. But you use them. And how often, like in the back of my dryer, there's a couple of little sensors, or I think, or do you have to get in there and clean those things because of the dryer sheets? Do they leave a deposit on them?
Yeah, we don't see it as much as we did in the early days, where the little strips were on the front side of the drum versus where you're talking about on the back.
Yeah.
If for some reason you're having an issue with the clothes not coming out the way they used to,
it works fine
on the auto cycles, but if you do, you can get in there with a little rubbing alcohol and clean those metal strips.
And so let me ask you this, because in my dryer I've got, on the left side of the knob, there's timed drying.
Yep.
And on the right side, there's AutoSense drying.
Yep.
If I use the time drying, those sensors don't do anything then,
Correct.
Right? Okay. Because this one, I know how long it takes to, from what most of what I'm doing is undergarments, and things of that nature, whites and coloreds, separate them. And I know how long it takes to do the whites. I know how long it takes to do the colored stuff, and that's what I set the timer to, and it works fine.
So are those whitey tidies or are those boxers? I can't.
Neither.
Oh.
Aha, I see they're different.
Oh.
No, the whites are my T-shirts. Ha ha ha.
Okay. So you're telling me you go commando then? Is that okay.
No. They're just not white.
Oh.
Dave is in
Covered.
Saginaw. Dave is in Saginaw. Let's say good morning to Dave. Dave.
Hi, Art.
Hey there.
Hey, David, what can we do for you?
Ernie.
Yep.
I have a Kenmore top-load washing machine that I purchased in 2012, and over the years I put a service contract on it.
Okay.
A year and a half ago, they would not warranty it anymore with a service contract. It runs perfectly fine right now. I did have, during the use of that service contract time frame, a number of times where I had to have some repairs on the machine, and they were all done efficiently. But when that thing goes now, what would I replace it with? Back then in 12, I think it ran me, because it's got all the whistles and bells, it ran me around $500 in 2012.
Okay.
So what would I replace that with now that is a reasonably good, solid machine? Because it's my understanding, Ernie, that they just don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, that's the truth. I would probably say I'd look at another product by Whirlpool.
Okay.
And the washer that you have now that you said has all the whistles and bells, how often did you use some of those?
Well, I basically use, because it's got 3 cleaning cycles, a 14-minute, a soak cycle, an ultra clean. It's a dial type. And then I have water setting size, low, medium, high.
Yep.
I have temperatures, a range in temperatures from cold to everything in between, hot.
Yep.
And I generally use the normal warm cycle, cold warm, and I generally use the 14-minute cycle, and then I generally use the regular spin cycle.
Here's the good news about the Whirlpool stuff that Ernie talks about. First of all, Whirlpool is the overall brand, but they also make Maytag,
Amana.
Right.
Amana,
I'm
and all those
aware
things.
of that.
And the other neat thing about it is much of what they do is actually still made in the United States, believe it or not.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's why I chose, when we had to replace ours, I have Maytag top load, and it has the average bells and whistles on it. It's not the super expensive, and it was probably in that. Now today you paid $500 back then. You're probably going to pay $7 or $8 today, I would guess. But that's normal, and I love it. Works fine.
Art, in respect of you, I have purchased Yeah, well, in respect of you and Ernie, I've had your people over here and helped me out several times.
Good.
And I've had parts through you, so you guys are two great guys in my opinion. The last appliance I bought was a $2,100 in-the-wall gas oven by Frigidaire at Art Noe because they've been around as long as I have, and I needed to replace that oven, and they were the only company that I was going to trust.
Yeah, they
and
do a good
Frigidaire
job.
was the unit that they sold me for $2,100, and
Yep.
it's a beautiful, of course.
Right?
It's all touch sense now,
Yeah.
which drives me nuts until I learned how to use it. But I would go to Art Noe again if you guys would recommend that.
Well,
Oh, I would.
there you go.
That's where I went.
And I'm a guy that always shops price. But the thing that you'll find is they're full service. I mean, they not only will they work with you on a price on the floor, but they have their own installers, and they do have a department that will service them.
Parts and service.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I'm aware of that because I did deal with George in there. He's a great guy, and they're counter people.
You can
And
deal
they
with them
gave me
again?
Pardon?
You can deal with them again?
Yes.
Still
They gave me a great deal on this unit. I had one little glitchy thing to start with, and they not only had excellent installers, very nice young men, but they sent a service tech over here to take care of a small issue that I had with it, which was actually a manufacturing issue. But they took care of that, and I love it. I do everything in it. It does everything. It's got 19,000 different things you can do with it.
All right, Dave, I'm going to have to interrupt because I've got to take a break here, but
Sure.
appreciate the call and good luck.
Yep. Have a good spring.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thanks, buddy. Bye-bye now. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with more from Wool Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw, during their Mow the Distance days with Gravely.
It could be the best years of
And we are back with you here at Wool Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw, chatting with Ernie Krieger from Ernie Krieger Appliance Service on Bay Road in Saginaw. If you have any questions about major appliances, give us a call, 989-752-6111. It's that simple, and we'll either help you fix it or turn it into a boat anchor.
Yes.
Which we've done prolifically over the years.
Mm-hmm. You know, one thing we didn't touch about was dehumidifiers.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
going
Go into
to
that.
be coming up. And, you know, dehumidifiers that have been around, let's say, the last couple of years, added a feature to them, and they all have now filters. And so it's important for you to take a look at that machine before you fire it back up. And if there's filters on it, you want to get in there and vacuum them, or go over to the
I need to do that.
Yep, or go over to the sink with that filter, because it'll come off that machine, and wash it out with some nice soapy water, and your machine should be good to go. And
That's like, well, window air conditioners have filters too, don't they?
Yes.
Most of those are inside the house.
yes,
The
and
front
people-
end.
and people forget about them, and usually they're shocked when they pull that filter out.
Mine is like a plastic mesh, so
Yep.
what I do is take it over to the sink and I just
Yes.
take the sprayer and spray the whole thing off.
Yep. In the old days, they were made out of a polyurethane type of material, and if you took that over to the sink, it was like a big fizzy. When it hit water and soap, it was gone. But now they have these hyperallergenic type filters, this mesh that you're talking about, that makes it very easy to wash. And it's important to do that because if you restrict the airflow through that filter, that air conditioner is not going to cool like it should.
All right, let's chat with Leanne in Bay City. Leanne, good morning. Leanne, you there?
I am here.
Good.
Hi
Good morning.
there.
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
I just heard the previous caller on buying Whirlpool or Maytag when you've had Kenmore all your life, which we have.
Yeah.
Do you think, in your opinion, that if we had Kenmore refrigerator, stove, that we should still go with a Whirlpool Maytag or the G?
I think the funny part of this, and I know you're going to tell us this, Ernie, the funny part of this is that Kenmore was probably made by Whirlpool.
Correct. In the old days.
Okay.
But then what happened is Kenmore for a while, it could be a GE, it could be a Samsung, it could be an LG, even though it said Kenmore.
Yeah, they didn't make anything.
They outsourced it. Yeah, they didn't.
Right.
But for forevermore, like, you know, our parents and our grandparents, that Kenmore was a Whirlpool-built product.
And Sears, let's be honest, Sears was a terrific marketer of that brand,
Yes.
of Kenmore. It had a solid reputation. We had Kenmore for years.
And you could put it on credit.
And you could put it on credit at Sears.
They made it easy when your unit went down and you couldn't afford to go out and buy a new one. They made it affordable to replace it.
Yeah.
That was their niche.
All right.
So don't worry about a different brand name.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And let's go to Willard, Michigan, and we'll talk to Joe this morning. Joe, you're on with Ernie Krieger. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hey,
yeah,
Joe.
I just wonder what Ernie thought about Speed Queen.
Oh, now Speed Queen to me is more of the Cadillac, but what the problem is, the Speed Queen is also going to cost you more. It'd be like buying a car. Do you buy a Chevy or do you buy a Cadillac? You know, you're paying a lot more for a product, but I think by far a Speed Queen top load washer with an agitator is if you can afford it, is really one of the better ways to go. I'm not ruling out Whirlpool not being good, but if I had to choose between those two product lines and I could afford it, I would certainly look at a Speed Queen brand.
Well, back in the day when we had what they called Trump bucks, we took our Trump bucks over and we bought a Speed Queen washer and dryer.
And how's it been?
Just about, and that just about took care of the Trump bucks. They're not cheap, but I think they're really good. I think they're dandy appliances. But I wanted your opinion.
Well, you did good, my
appreciate it.
friend.
Yep.
All right.
All right, Joe. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good
Bye-bye.
one. Bye.
And we'll continue on. We'll stay in Saginaw. We'll talk to Rick this morning. Rick, you're on with Ernie Krieger. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
What can we do for you?
I've got a Maytag clothes washer. It's 2.5 years old. And ever since I've got it, it builds a scum around the top 3 inches of the tub and on the surface of the agitator. Any thoughts?
Yeah. Are you using a full load of water when you're washing your clothes, or?
Yeah.
Because what'll happen is you may not get enough water to get that stuff to rinse through. Now, the stuff that you're building up on the actual tub itself is small compared to what's on the outer tank. You know, your washer has an outer tank and then your tub sits inside of it. And so there is just a tremendous amount of junk, or crud we'll call it, that gets built up between those two tubs. With you seeing it, I would venture that maybe you need to increase your water level. If it's stating that top, down that 2 to 3 inches, there is a product that's out there called Whirl Out, and I know that you can find it at Menards. They carry it. It's granular. A lot of times people would use them in their hot tubs, but this Whirl Out does a really good job of cutting the crud that gets between the two tubs.
What do you run a full load of water with no clothes?
Yes, hot water.
Hot water?
Hot water. And what you'll do is you'll put a cup of this Whirl Out in that machine, like you would do a normal load without clothes, and let it go through that wash cycle. And that'll help break down what's between the two tubs. But as far as curing your problem inside that machine, I think you need to use more water to get that flush out.
I don't think I can vary my water.
Well, let me ask this, do you have a switch that says light load, normal load, heavy load?
No, I'd have to look at it quick here.
You probably do, because that controls the level of the water, doesn't it?
And then he may have a separate switch that gives him a small, medium, and large.
Yeah.
And then...
Whoa! What's the noise?
No, there's nothing that controls the water. It's just my old one had that, but this one doesn't seem to have that.
What does it say about load size? Is there anything on it that says light load or?
Different for different loads. They got towels, power wash, delicates, mix, normal.
And so what I would tell you to do is I would get the stuff that we talked about, the Whirl Out, and I would put it in where it would say towels, because normally you're going to get a full tub of water, and you should be able to get a hot wash with the towels.
And then run it?
Yep, and see if you can get the crud that's built up between those two tubs, and it should also clean what you've got, that 3-inch ring that goes around the top of the agitator.
Could you spell that product, please?
Yeah, Whirl Out.
WHIRL. Out.
O-U-T.
And it's at Menards.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Good. I appreciate the help.
Oh, you're
Thanks
welcome.
for calling.
Thanks for calling, buddy. Have
Take
a good
care.
spring.
All right, we'll get to Sal and Joe here in just a couple of minutes. Take a break, and then we'll be back with more here at Wolf
A
Files.
401k can be an important asset.
FM and 790 AM. And from Stormmaster Exteriors, you are listening online at WSGW.com.
Where we return here at Wolf Files, 5818 State Street in Saginaw. And we will tell you more about what's going on here in just a few moments, but we've got them stacked up on the phones here. Sal is in Saginaw. Sal, good morning.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Sal. How are you?
Good, good. I have a question for my friend right there. My wife, she's getting sick and tired going down the basement, washing downstairs. She said she want to wash it and dry it in one upstairs in the bathroom. Is there something like that?
If she's going to do small loads, you could get away with it.
She want a big washer and dryer in one.
Well, I mean, they make a laundry unit where you have a full-size washer and the bottom with a dryer above that.
It's a stacked unit, right?
Yeah, a stack unit. But I think what she
Does
wants...
anybody make one thing in one tub?
Yeah, they do.
But
if you're only going to do a couple shorts and a couple shirts in it, they're going to work. But to put a full load in that washer, nah.
Doesn't work well.
No. I think if she wants to get a laundry center on her first floor, that's a good idea. And they make let's say a front load washer that's independent, so you could stack a dryer on top of it and still get a full size. I just don't think she wants a front load washer that has the dryer built into it. I mean, you find those in motorhomes, and those in the motorhomes, they're doing small loads. Yeah. They're not doing a full size, but they do make a laundry center that she could look at that would fit in a closet.
Yeah, it's stacked.
Yeah. a stack unit.
Well, thank you so much. I'll check into it. I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right,
All
Sal.
right, Sal.
Have
Keep
a
her
good
happy.
one. Take care.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye now. And in Saginaw, we have Joe waiting for us. Joe, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Ernie. I got a front loader. It's a GE, and
Yep.
you said something earlier about the smell. We always leave the door open, but we still have that smell. What was that product you used?
It's called Whirl Out.
No, or is that
World
the
Out?
Afresh?
Whirl.
Or the Afresh?
There was
Or
one
you-
you said fresh.
Yeah, a fresh. It's a tablet. And on your washer, you should have a button that says clean, so you can that machine will go through a clean cycle and actually bring more water in than what you would have doing a traditional wash.
So
But
I
you
would
can-
throw that tablet right in my tub, you're saying?
Yeah,
And I
you
turn
put it
on.
in you put it in a tub and you put it through
Clean
the clean
cycle.
cycle.
Yep.
And if you haven't done it in a while, you might have to do this more than one time to get the stuff that's built up in that outer tub flushed
Okay.
out. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
With nothing in it, right? Just
Correct.
just the
No
tablet.
clothes.
Okay.
Yep. No
All right.
clothes.
Got it. Thank
All
you.
right, buddy. You're welcome.
So let me ask you, I have a top loader,
Yep.
and it has that cycle on it, that clean the tub cycle. I've never done it, don't have any odors, but should I do it anyway?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
good.
I'm not. I mean, how I won't.
Yeah.
I was going to say, how crappy are the shorts you're putting in there?
They're fine. They're good. Let's talk to Michael in West Branch. Michael, good morning. Thanks for waiting.
Good morning, Art and Ernie. How are you?
We're
doing
good.
well.
Good morning.
Fantastic. My mother has a Whirlpool washer, and the agitator was not top agitator was not functioning. And by the wonders of the internet, I found a YouTube video with the exact cosmetic inner parts and replaced something I never heard of, the agitator dogs.
Yep, the dogs will wear or they get hard.
Yeah.
And so they don't
They were all
grip.
broken up.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all broken up, and it works beautifully. Here's my question. The machine has like a ticking sound, like it sounds like the lifters on a car, you know, when during the first initial agitation, it's a little quicker, you know. It's going tick,
Okay.
tick, tick, tick. I'm thinking, is there something general maintenance can do, or is it something I should be concerned about?
Is it going into the spin cycle that it's making that ticking sound, or is it the
No,
agitation?
It's the agitation. Specifically,
I-
when it first starts up, you know, it's going a little quicker, then it slows down to the next, you know, the slower cycle. It's like tick, tick, tick. Again, it reminds me of a car, you know, when the lifters are going.
Yeah.
Sure. I wonder if maybe your noise isn't coming from that upper part of the agitator.
Huh.
Or you
It
changed
doesn't
the
sound like
dogs
that. No, it was doing this before, you know, and then I replaced the agitator dogs. And crap, it was a $5 part, and you know, I was like, wow, it really easy
Yep.
fix.
Yep.
So
Short of
they're four of them.
short of something slapping on. I mean, this thing has a tube that comes up to your. It's called an air pressure tube that comes into where you select your load size, and sometimes the bracket that holds that tube away from the tub will allow some extra play in it, and it could cause it to
Slapping
slap.
against the tub.
So
I
that's
see.
a possibility, but I don't think it's anything to worry about that's going to cause it to mechanically fail.
Okay.
How old's the
Okay.
How old's the
It's gotta
washer?
be 20 plus years.
Yeah. If it's 20 years old, it could be. It's called a trunnion, and it's the piece that the tub sits on, and they look like little horseshoes. You know, in the old days, you had the horseshoe plates or the steel plates on your heels that you'd have, so it would click when you'd wash. That's back in your day, Art.
Thank you.
Back in
Let
the
me ask you a
30s.
question. How long does a ticking sound last?
It's primarily, I just actually put a load in over at her place, and it's during the initial agitation, you know, when it was so faster, it's very predominant then. And then when it slowed down, it wasn't as loud. It was just during the initial part. Tick, 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 tick was like a sound, you know. I'm thinking, what's the motor? Something in the motor going?
That's I mean, there's a lot of things that could cause those noises.
I'd run it till it stops ticking.
Yeah, at the age of it, there's a whole lot you're gonna. you'd have to take the wrapper off in order to do that. That whole cabinet slides off the frame, and you can.
You may be going beyond my scope of practice here.
Yeah, but nothing I'd worry about on a 20-year-old washer.
Run it till it does.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well,